Hey guys, welcome to our virtual meeting with Coach Amy from the Dream Runner program. So we'll get started in a few minutes, so just feel free to say hi in the comments.
Welcome Alliance host members to our virtual meeting with Coach Amy. Good evening, I'm Sonia. Just to introduce myself, I'm one of your committee leaders, and I'm stoked to be here with all of you tonight to learn more about the Dream Runner program.
My name is Rutu, and I'm also one of your committee leaders. And once again, I'm really excited for you guys to be here and for everyone to meet Coach Amy. And just as a reminder, we're going to have a QR code towards the end of the event, so you can use that for the attendance. So make sure to stay the entire time.
Before we begin, I'd like to briefly introduce our CTSO organization to any of our new members. HOSA is a student-led healthcare organization that strives to prepare students to be the future of healthcare. Through Alliance Academy's HOSA chapter, we bring to you monthly guest speakers with a wide range of specialties and from all around the globe.
So now, without further ado, tonight's guest speaker is Coach Amy, and on behalf of Alliance HOSA, we welcome you with wide arms. So thank you so much for joining us. And so we'll be starting off the discussion with just Coach Amy discussing what Dream Runner is, and then towards the end, there will be some time for members to ask questions about the event. So you can go ahead and type them in the chat box, and we'll answer them later on. So, Coach Amy, you can go ahead and just tell our members kind of what Dream Runner is and how we as members can get involved.
Great. Thank y'all so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give you a super quick background on Dream Runners and how it got started. I've been a runner for about 18 years, and I also worked in the school system as a paraprofessional in special needs for about 10 years. So kind of out of a desire for, to combine those two things is how Dream Runners got started. Dream Runners started, it was formed from a desire to create an inclusive environment for individuals with special needs while working on goals on the track. Dream Runners is a Forsyth County Parks and Rec therapeutic rec program. So I run the program through there. A lot of our participants participate in other programs within the Forsyth County Parks and Rec. This fall, we have 25 signed up. We have 7 on the wait list, is what I was telling the girls before. I'm super excited about that. We have, of the 25 signed up, we have all of them are returners and have been with me pretty much from the beginning, except for 2. We have 2 new ones this fall. We have individuals with various abilities. Some can run 3 miles and some walk 3 to 4 laps. Some, can run half, walk half. They're all different kinds of abilities. So a lot of times volunteers are a little hesitant to sign up because they're like, well, I'm not a runner. Well, I don't have all runners. I mostly have walkers. And some of them will kind of like to do a little sprint for a little ways and then they walk the rest of it. Um, Ultimately, my goal is every Saturday when they come out is for my participants to come out and engage with you as volunteers and some of those participants are nonverbal, so their engagement may look a little different. They may not, answer your questions or, talk about their day, but you can tell by their smiles on their faces and things like that they're having fun. So that's kind of their way of engaging, is to smile, or sometimes they'll even make kind of happy noises that kind of let you know that they're having fun. But ultimately, our mission is to encourage participants to engage in physical activity through walking or running while having meaningful interactions with their buddy, and you are their buddies. So we do have some individuals that have seizure disabilities. So I'm CPR certified, and I do require the parents to stay there. It's because of those things. They are doing a physical activity, things happen, so their parents are required to stay there at the track. So I have to whenever I pair somebody up with a participant that has epilepsy or anything that's severe, I have another participant that doesn't sweat. So in the summertime, and he also has epilepsy. So in the summertime, he can very easily have a seizure. So I let my volunteers know those things, and I'm always on the track. I'm always running around the track. Sonia probably knows that. I'm right there in the middle of it all. If I'm not with a participant, I'm in the middle of everybody running with you, walking with you, talking with you, taking pictures, engaging just like you are. So I don't leave you, but like I said, the parents do have to stay there on the track. I do, for my volunteers, I don't expect volunteers to come every Saturday. I know everybody has a life, you have things to do. But I do expect when people sign up that they do show up, because it can become dangerous. I have been put in some situations where I have volunteers that didn't show. And like I said, I have individuals with medical needs, and it becomes dangerous. So whoever signs up, I do ask that they do show up. And if they don't like it, they don't have to come back the next Saturday, but I do need them to show up. We are working this fall towards our first 5K. We'll have a 5K on November 19th. Super excited about that. I know my participants are going to be super excited. Our Dream Runners are going to love it. We've been working on this since 2019. But we're going to have a 5K. So we're really going to we still want to have fun, but we have goals that we need to work towards. It's going to be a 5K and a 1 mile. Not all of my participants can do a 5K. But so they'll have lap sheets, and as a volunteer, I need you to help them or write for them how many laps they do every week, so we can make sure we're working on our laps and working towards that 5K in November. I think that's all I have for right now.
So I have a question. For the volunteers that come and they get paired up with individuals who have like history of seizures and epilepsy, is there something specific that you require those volunteers to do, or like something to keep an eye out for?
Yes, I would. I mean, honestly, if someone, oftentimes you're not going to know if they're going to have a seizure. Most of my participants that have seizure disorders also have autism. Almost all of them do. If a individual with autism starts getting upset, pretty much right away if they're getting upset. They usually either do a self-harming behavior or they'll cry. I have actually a participant that's going to start this fall. She was with me back a couple of years ago, and when COVID happened, she stopped coming for a while, and she's coming back this fall, and that she cries when she is frustrated and upset. And again, that's why I stay on the track, and that's why I stay so involved, because I want to know when these things are happening, because we are working with individuals with special needs. These things do happen. But yeah, just any kind of behavior that seems different. Like I said, crying, self-harming, things like that. Those can be sometimes a precursor to potentially having a seizure. But sometimes they also just you won't even know. They just may fall down and have a seizure. But that's why their parents stay, and that's why I'm CPR certified. So I just ask that if they ever see anything unusual, to just let me know. I'd rather you let me know than to not, and then, them have a seizure. hope that helps.
Yeah.
I also have a question.
Sure.
What do you want the future of Dream Runner to look like? Do you have any short-term or long-term goals?
I have lots of goals. So I'm sure all of you have heard of Miracle League. And you know how Miracle League pretty much is actually not even nationwide, it's in other countries now as well. I would love to be able to do exactly what they did. I would love for Dream Runners to grow to other cities, to other states. I would like to, I tried to grow it to Athens, but Athens doesn't have a track that's like what we use. They don't have a fenced in track. Um, so I'd like to even be able, just like Miracle League, build our own track if we, don't have a track in a city that we want to move to. I would love to grow Dream Runners. I have had so many parents. I have had a couple of my participant parents that have said that it's been a huge thing for their kids. I have one young lady that has been a regular participant from day one. Her mom said the track is their only happy place. There's not many places they can go because she has such severe anxiety. The track is the one place she can go and she's happy. I would love to be able to spread that to other places.
That's very cool.
So we actually do have a question from one of our members. So Aditi asks, what does being a good volunteer entail?
That's a great question. A good volunteer is somebody that comes, is not intimidated by maybe some of the behaviors. And when I say behaviors, like maybe somebody may be making a high pitched squealing noise, but that's really their happy noise. That they just kind of roll with it and are kind of like, whoa, that still continue to talk to me, even though some of our participants cannot talk back, and stays with the participant. I have, unfortunately, it's only happened one time, but it was a learning lesson for me. I had a volunteer that did not stay with her buddy, her participant, pretty much wandered off and left her participant. And unfortunately, that participant was somebody that's a wanderer too. So a good buddy is somebody that just stays with them and engages to the best of their ability.
Yeah, just kind of making sure that you're engaged and you're like interacting with your buddy.
Right.
So if that's all the questions we have, does any of our members have any last minute questions?
I know it sounds a little intense at some points, but I promise you we have so much fun. It's a lot of fun. We go out, we have a great time, we engage, we listen to music, we have fun. We have a lot of fun.
So Ramya asks, what are some things I should avoid doing during the event?
I can't really think of anything that you should avoid doing. There's really, other than leaving your participant, I can't really think of anything that you shouldn't do. Really just, if you see anything, just let me know. But most of our participants they even though they cannot verbalize it, they understand. I know it's hard to understand that they can, but they really do understand what they're doing. They understand they're coming out there and that they're getting paired up with a buddy. And it really excites them. It really makes them so happy. I've had so many parents tell me that their kids write it on their calendar and they look forward to it every week, that they cannot wait to come out and spend time with their buddies. So there's not much there's not anything to really avoid.
And someone else asks, what would you do if your buddy isn't able to make it that day?
So if I do have that happen sometimes, I just as much as I sit here and talk to you about, what we should and shouldn't do, I do the same thing with the parents. I give the parents kind of, hey, please let me know if you're not coming, because my volunteers take time out of their Saturday morning to come spend time with your child. And when you don't show up, it's a little frustrating for people. And I get it. I totally get it. So sometimes a volunteer will come and their participants doesn't show. So usually I'll put that person in with another volunteer and their participant. And I know it sounds kind of crazy. It is. The more you have out there, the more fun it is. I've had some Saturdays where I've had 30 participants and I've had 60 volunteers. And it was so much fun. It's just a blast. We go out there, we have fun, we run it. They'll get in groups and run and act crazy. It's a lot of fun. So if
Yeah.
your buddy doesn't, I know it may seem a little disappointing, but if your participant doesn't show, you just get to run it with somebody else and you have fun.
And someone else was asking what would happen if maybe you lose track of your buddy or you can't figure out they may have left
There
you.
you are. I can see where that could possibly happen.
Has that ever happened?
Not really, because usually the one girl that lost her participant really didn't want to be with her participant. She just
Got it.
didn't tell me that.
Mhm.
It really is kind of hard. Even the track is pretty big, and sometimes there can be a lot of people out there, but really, if you're engaging with your participant, you really shouldn't lose your participant.
Yeah.
It like I said, it's happened once, and it was only happened because she wanted it to happen.
Mhm.
But most of our participants, you pretty much know. Like when I'm pairing people, when the participants are arriving and the volunteers are arriving, I make sure, hey, Sonia, this is Paige. Paige, this is Sonia. And I kind of make sure I introduce people, and I make sure that they know who they're with, and that they know their names.
Is there a specific age range for the buddies or?
Buddies, I try to make sure they're middle school and up.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I have had one or two elementary kids. I usually end up putting an elementary volunteer with somebody else as well. Just because of the medical,
Yeah.
it makes me a little nervous. I would hate to put that on an elementary age child.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
mostly seventh and eighth graders and up. And for participants, I take 5 years and up. But I've only had a couple of really young ones. Most of them are high school. I have a couple of middle school, most of them are high school, and then I have a few that have actually graduated high school and they're working or whatever.
Mhm. So if that's all the questions regarding Dream Runner, I would just like to give one quick reminder that our first Dream Runner event is this Saturday, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So unfortunately, all the volunteer slots for this Saturday event is already filled, but this event does happen every Saturday, so make sure to keep an eye out for next week if you really would like to attend. And those that have signed up this week, remember to keep in mind all the things that Coach Amy has said throughout this meeting, and that early is on time, and it just shows that you're respectful and you actually care about what you're participating in.
And please don't ever hesitate to come ask me any question at all. I'm a very easy to talk to person, and don't ever hesitate to ask questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Coach Amy, for your time. You have definitely inspired a lot of students to partake in this wonderful opportunity to serve in the community. To close out our event, we'd like to thank all of you for joining this conversation and making it interactive. A quick reminder for everyone coming to the fundraiser event tomorrow for Dream Runners. It starts at 4:30 and it ends at 8. So remember, please be on time, which is early, and see you there.
Thank y'all.
So we're going to leave the QR code up just for attendance, and then you guys can fill that out. So thank you guys all for coming. This form will close tomorrow at 4 p.m. So make sure you fill that out for the attendance. And thank you guys. And we'll go ahead and end the broadcast.
Thank you.